Welcome to episode 3, the final episode in this hiking series where I started at dawn. I had fun peering off the side of railway trestles. I got turned around by the broom, and I had fun finding an old telegraph pole. Here's the big picture, Vancouver Island on the west coast of British Columbia. And the red circle is my hike location between Port Alberni and Parksville. Here's a close-in view of central Vancouver Island. The railway is shown with the little white squares. Those are the mile markers. And it's the Port Alberni subdivision that runs from right to left, Parksville to Port Alberni, and the red spot is where I hiked between the Alberni summit and Cameron Lake. Here's a close-in map showing the location, Cameron Lake, Highway 4 in white, and I've colored in black the railway. And my overall hike is in red, starts at milepost 20.6, goes to 16.6, and then return. So that's a nice 4 miles out, 4 miles back, and the total return distance in kilometers is 12.8. I call that 13. The start and end point of my hike is marked in the orange circle at the bottom of the map. That's really close to Highway 4 on the steep eastern slope of the Alberni summit. And there's my turnaround point, the orange circle at the top of the map. That's above the west end of Cameron Lake. In episode 3, I start around mile 18, the top end of the red line, and I finish up my hike at mile 20.6, at the bottom, right near Highway 4. Here's another foliage-rich area. It's a nice way to say overgrown. It's the grass and these ferns. Wow. I don't hate them like I hate the broom. I actually really like ferns. Here's mile 18. And the trestle is coming right up. Okay, mile 18.1 trestle. Time to cross you again. Give you an idea of the condition. And almost halfway through. We'll go back a ways here. Here's an idea. It's like a tie in very poor shape, but a much better one. Here, this is where I'm going to look off the edge, extend my monopod. Okay, let's do it. Oh, this will be fun. I'll pop it down there. Okay, Let's go down and in. Okay, until I see this one again, which is the same for all of them. I always come and see all four at once. More of the lovely railway garden here. I'm just really enjoying this. Alright, here we are. The most challenging obstacle of the day. This large windfall with lots of limbs on the ground. Thank you to the people that cut them off. Just have to watch my footing as I go through. And of course, make sure I don't clunk myself above. There, I'm through. Okay. Nice. Nicer. It's good to see the mountain today. Mount Arrowsmith. Here I am about mile 18.7, walking on the retaining wall. Yeah, wall goes out. Goes down. Oh yeah, let's do another one of these. It just terraces down a little bit with the concrete down the slope. And ahead is the concrete abutment for the half-depth girder bridge part of this structure. love the spot. It's always cool, shaded. I like the sound. Yeah, let's see more. Oh, this lets you see below. Down below the steel. Pretty flat ground down there. Let's go across here. Yeah, more of the steel. Of course, this is fun. An army of soldiers' helmets. Alright, west end of the compound bridge, mile 18.8. Like I always say, until next time. I love this spot, mile 18.9. This is the big rock face. With a view down to the compound bridge. If I went over here. Let's keep going westward. Here comes milepost 19. And that means that at the pace that I'm going today, I got about another hour until I'm back at my car. That's fine. I'm having fun. Nice view here looking up. Here, I'll zoom in so the exposure will set for Mount Arrowsmith. Yeah. That's what I get to stare at for a bit as I walk. Around mile 19.2. Just a couple lengths of rail. Spare rail is usually found about every mile beside a railway. You never know when you're going to need it. Again, this is kind of like a time capsule going back to late 2001. Well, this yellow grease box here is always my signal that the Arrowsmith water tower site is just up ahead on the right, mile 19.6. And those grease boxes can also be found about every 1 mile along the railway. They grease the wheels of the rail cars. There's lush vegetation here. Let's zoom in. When I was here on the way in this morning, just shortly after 5 a.m., the light wasn't perfect for this kind of thing. So here's the scene that Leonard Frank photographed back in 1911 with the first train coming back from Port Alberni. And here's that curve seen in the Leonard Frank photo, although it was clear, and the section house would have been through here on the left. Not quite there yet. And that's where the section house was, right here. Nice and flat. Whistle signage on the right. That's what the W means. Blow the train's whistle. Or in the diesel thing, it's probably technically a horn. But we call it a whistle. Blowing it because there's a trestle up ahead and there might be people on it. I don't know if that is intended to recognize that hikers sometimes came up here during railway time. I don't know. In any case, there's usually those W signs before level crossings or before private crossings or just hiking trail areas. People would have a good chance to know there's the train coming and get out of the way. Speaking of things that are coming up, it's the mile 20 sign. I'm so close to being done. Nice rock face beside me. It just keeps going up and up. In the sunshine, the mile 20.2 Trestle just crosses a dry ravine, and the view of the mountains above it, Mount Arrowsmith. Let me set up here and get a close-up of the mountain. And let's take a look at the Rockfall on the west end. I haven't really had reason to use my phone camera today. It's got wide angle, but this is the reason now at the end of my hike. Get a good view of the new Rockfall, where it came from. Landed right near the end of the Jordan Rail. And of course I'm standing on old Rockfall. Let's go vertical. There's the scene. Yeah, lots of shadows. And there's more rock areas, more Rockfall. Little guy though. Last time I came through here, there was snow. I got a nice lovely scene for a photograph. I've enjoyed that. This lovely mystery curve with snow and nice sunlight. Yeah, I guess sunlight can be nice sometimes. It just goes against my username. But yeah, where are we going? Well, we're going up a 2.1% grade. This is the first of two very sharp curves, and then we're almost done. So in a way, this mirrors Highway 4 down below, which also has some very sharp curves going to the right as you're approaching the summit from the east. Railway or highway are going through the same pass up to the Alberni summit. There was a boondocking camper van at the end of the little roadway by the set-on, set-off area where I joined the railway when I went through at just before 5 a.m. Considering that it's almost 10 a.m., we'll find out if the boondocker is still there, or maybe the boondocker is just recently gone. And the boondocker has left. And this is the end of my hike. As usual, I want to say thank you for watching this, taking the time. I appreciate you very much. And let's just head off here, right next to the Alberni summit and the highway. If I continued on the railway, it becomes a 2.2% grade. Steepest grade on the ENN on Vancouver Island. The completion of my editing and the upload of this video is over a week after the start of a wildfire. That fire started about 12 hours after the end of my hike. Here's my overall map showing my hike with the red line, and the circle with the F is where the fire was at the time of this video's upload. And here's a closer look of my crudely drawn lines on the map showing the area of the hike and the fire. And here's the BC Wildfire website map of the area with a fire inside the red mark. This fire has resulted in the closure of Highway 4 seen in this map, and as a result I would not be able to do this hike today, the day of uploading, or likely in the next few days or weeks. The possible date of the highway reopening is unknown at the time of this video's upload.